problem. The problem is a lack of wealth. And I'm going to get later on, I'm going to tell you how blacks should start getting wealth. Now, what's the second problem? The second problem is you got impediments that have consistently been used and imposed on black folk to make sure they don't get any wealth. Public policy that went into effect in 1867 when the 15th Amendment was enacted. The 15th Amendment says black people can now run for a public office. You can now run for office, but they said you can run for office to be for a sheriff's office, a postal office, or you can even run for Congress or a state legislator. But if you run for a public office and get into the public arena, there are some taboos that you cannot do. One, you cannot run for a public office as a black person and talk about black issues. Point one. Point two, you cannot come in a public office and talk about groupism. You must always talk about individualism, individual achievement. And point three, you cannot come into a public office and try to hold the dominant white society accountable for slavery and what they've done to you for 500 years through Jim Crow segregation and slavery. That means you can't have reparations. Now, if any of you try to do it, you'll be charged with racism, or reverse racism. But nobody ever admits you cannot have a reverse racism unless you got a forward racism.